It's time for the main event. It's the Shoe Shot.
¿Qué onda, vatos locos? Damas y caballeros, it's your boy Dave from the 408 coming to you all the way from my new house in Las Vegas, 702. Joining me all the way from the city of brotherly love, Philly Irish Drew Evo. Drew, ¿qué pasa, man?
What's up, Dave?
What's up? You told me this was supposed to be the fight that saved boxing and shit. Oh, man. The first super fight of 2023. A fight that got everybody calling all the hardcore fans. Hey, who should I bet on? I'm sure you got your share of phone calls, Drew. Maybe even relatives talking about if you was going to buy the pay-per-view. Are you going to buy the pay-per-view? Can I come over to your house? Everybody was talking about this fight, talking about, can I come over to your house? Where can we watch the fight? Everybody's suddenly interested. So I got to ask everybody, make sure that you are subscribed to The Shoe Shine. Make sure you hit that like as you come in and try to share it with your homeboys, man, because Drew and I just finally passed our 500 subscriber mark. And man, guys, I thought we would be monetized by right now, but I do appreciate everybody that joins us every Monday night. Right, Drew?
Yeah, it's been your privilege, guys.
And don't forget, guys, the show is interactive. So if you're watching us live right now, you can hit us up at 702-710-3627. Drew, saludos to everybody joining. Chicano Prophet, Nando Lamas, everybody out there in YouTube land. This was supposed to be the big fight, Drew. Did it live up to the hype? Did the card live up to the hype?
This card sucked.
As you come in, let us know, man. I got it above here, but I'm asking everybody who watches boxing and who keeps up with the sport. It used to be a good pay-per-view. We did 1 million buys, man. It was just something that, Oscar De La Hoya and Floyd Mayweather always broke the $1 million marker. So did this fight, and I don't know any of these fake sources coming out talking about 1.5 million. But Drew, I did think, and I had been saying it on our show and other shows, like the Roundtable, that I thought this would absolutely break 750 to potentially well over the 1 million mark. And I await to see the results of that. Your thoughts on that? Because everybody's going to be talking about that, man. Did we break 1 million buys?
It didn't break. I don't know if it could break 500,000.
I've seen, people talking on Twitter that it did 1.5 million. Like they would know. Like Steven Espinosa and Showtime wouldn't tell you right now that it broke 1.5 million.
Nah, it did not. I don't even think it even get close to 1 million. I don't even think it's going to be over 500,000. I just don't think, because of all the bars, the Germans clubs, the clubs themselves and everything. Like homes, buy some, like a couple of homes, you got people coming over and everything. It's just going to kill the vibe. It's just going to kill their sales. And illegal streams. Nah, like I just want like $85. And then, paying $85, and then if you're a DAZN subscriber and you're paying $60 and everything, it's a crack of bullshit and everything. And I'm sorry, the card was fucking terrible.
Well, I need to ask you, man. You brought up a good point, because did you buy it over DAZN? Now, I still have the DAZN subscription, but a lot of people that watch us say they got rid of it. I kept it, and it looked really enticing. And Drew, I have to be honest with you, man. I was really tempted when my stream went down. I was almost about to hit purchase on that DAZN on my phone to watch the rest of the fight because my stream went down. That's all I got to say. And I was awfully tempted. Next thing I know, I'm seeing on my Twitter timeline people saying they can't get it on DAZN, that they fucking paid for it. Excuse my language, that they paid for it and they can't watch the fight. That is some cold-blooded shit.
I'm going to say something to everybody that wants to bitch about DAZN and everything, man. If you're bitching about it that much, don't renew your service. Like, seriously, it's that fucking simple. I didn't renew my service with them. Fuck them. They're charged overpricing for fucking low-weight quality and everything, and fucking low-weight cards half the fucking time. Why the fuck would I pay for that shit? And a lot of you motherfuckers are bitching about it. Don't bitch. Don't fucking renew your service then. It's that fucking simple. God damn. Like, half these people, all they want to do is bitch about fucking products and everything, and you're paying for it.
Man, Drew, I gotta change my webcam, guys. I look like a body in a morgue and shit, dude. This webcam is absolutely awful. No amount of lighting fixes it. I look like a drag queen in a morgue. Look at that nice color on Drew, man. He looks so flesh-like and it looks good. Oh, man, I look like I got hit in the liver, right?
I'm about to say, that's a pause, Dave. About the drag queen and the zombie. That's a pause.
All right, guys. No, you got rid of DAZN, which I kind of feel bad for you if you didn't see this Rocket Mob fight earlier in the day, man. I had to rewatch that shit. That was a hell of an IBF, what is it? They were competing for the 130-pound super featherweight title, man. Those guys were banging. And a second round drop, and then the scorecards were controversial. You guys know how it goes when you go overseas and you fight in the UK. There was some smelly scorecards on that. Did you get to watch that?
I watched it. Like, when you go over to the UK and all those judges are UK judges, you're going to get smelly cards. Like, seriously, you are. You most likely have to win a knockout. In some cases, you don't, because, like, it would be too obvious that you won the fight. But I could have said that, but two of the judges during the Joyce Zhang fight had Joyce winning the fight. Time to stop it.
Yeah, there's been some funky scorecards this year, as always, Drew. But you know what? I have to be honest, man. That fight shit could have been on this actual Las Vegas undercard because the undercard was completely underwhelming. Completely underwhelming, right? Do you guys agree? For such a high-priced pay-per-view, you guys expected to see more competitive bouts. Just in general, I have to even... Bro, I got to talk smack about this Beck the Bully rematch against Gabe Rosado. And, it's honorable that Gabe Rosado realizes it's time to hang him up, man, because that fight wasn't competitive at all. And as for a silver medalist who was looking to redeem himself and make a stamp on the 168-pound division, Beck the Bully got tons of booze, Drew. So I don't see how he fits into this David Morrell equation with all these exciting fighters like Caleb Plant and David Benavidez, and even, I don't know if Bubu Andrade is exciting, but I can't see Beck the Bully cracking the top 5 with a performance like that.
I'm sorry, Beck the Bully's too small for this division.
Almost says awful, man. Beck ain't no bully. Yeah, man, that was a snoozer of a fight because, to be honest, Gabe Rosado seemed very leery of getting countered and hit with strong shots with that. He's a nice, crafty southpaw. He looked timid in there. He looked like he wasn't in it anymore.
The whole fucking fight, looking for the big shot, the whole fight. Like,
well,
he did the last couple 3 fights.
And he landed that big shot in the first one, man. So, Drew, I went down the Wednesday to media day, and I got to see Beck the Bully just several feet in front of me working out, of course, with Joel Diaz, famous Coachella trainer. And I asked people who were watching, and I appreciate everyone who was watching me go down to media day because I took some time off of work and everything to go check that shit out. But, was it a fluke? So now we can look back, Drew. Was it a fluke? Was it that lucky? Was it just a lucky shot, a lucky puncher's shot that Gabe Rosado landed in that first fight?
Yeah, it was. It was a mistake because he's a prospect and he got caught. And
everybody was asking me, who's a casual fan, they kept asking me, Dave, I had people hit me up in other shows that were completely unrelated podcasts having nothing to do with boxing, an audience asking me, why do you think Ryan Garcia can't win this fight? And I said, it's not that he can't. It's like he's only has a puncher's chance. That's basically it. That's basically what Gabe Rosado landed on Beck the Bully. Man, he wasn't going to land that on Gervonta Tank Davis. You and I knew it, and a lot of the majority of boxing pugilist people who are hardcore fanatics of the sport know nobody's landed that punch on Tank. Whether or not you can execute it, whether or not you got the hand speed, actually landing it successfully, totally different story, man. Totally different story. And it played out pretty much exactly how most of us thought it would go, man. So, I mean, we could jump right into that, man. Does Tank and Ryan break 1 million pay-per-views, Drew? First off.
Fuck no.
It does not break 1 million.
And I'm going to tell you this right now. They're going to make a bullshit number up. Watch. To make Tank look better. And you know what? You know, people going to, co-sign off of it and everything. And like, come on, man. Like, come on. It's not going to break 500,000. It's not. Like, there's too many options out there. And like, but I'm going to be honest, man. This whole card was fucking terrible. Gabe, I love you to death, but for the love of God, man.
Who?
I don't want to see you get put out on a stretcher or anything and be forced to retire. Just retire, man. You got options,
Gabe.
Man.
Okay.
You got fucking options, bro. Just take it.
Nah, Gabe has had a lot. He's a great. Hey, he's got a great journeyman career, man. He fought everybody, right? You know, I was watching this past Friday. I love to watch Thompson Boxing. A lot of you guys know it's a smaller regional promoter out of Los Angeles. Thompson Boxing. I love to watch it there. Beto Duran is a part of the commentating team, and then of course Dougie Fisher of Ring Magazine. And we always get into great conversations there. And unlike Pro Box and other people that broadcast on YouTube, they actually talk to you, Drew. And we brought up Journeyman because on that fight was this Mexican fighter. I forget his name. Maybe you guys know him, but Uhuil or something like that. Anyway, this guy's got like 25, 30 losses, Drew, but he's fought everybody, and he's upset top contenders. I'm not saying Gabe Rosado is that bad. That he amounted that many losses, but Gabe Rosado would fight anyone and did fight everybody like Gennady Golovkin and so on, and perform admirably very well in many of those fights, man. So no shame in what he's done in his career, even being in Creed. The Creed movie, man, a tremendous step. He lives in Los Angeles. I look forward to seeing Gabe Rosado maybe going back into Hollywood, man, or doing some movies now, or doing, running his own gym or whatever he wants to do, man. He's
become a commentator on DAZN.
Or people have said they loved him when I think he's done some commentating and that they actually really like that, man. And you're right, that's a great next step for somebody like Gabe Rosado who's been in there with everybody. I agree with you. Let's see. Nando Lama says, Drew ain't ever quit hating on Ryan until he changes his last name to Garcia Chenko.
Man, do I have to really start with everything, man? Because I'm going to be honest with you, man. I'm still fucking pissed off about this weekend. This whole card, it just pissed me off and let the bad fucking taste in my mouth. And I'm just want to, like, oh, man. Like, seriously, I really don't understand. How can somebody pay $85 for Rosado being gun shy, and Beck the Bully was being kind of gun shy too, not wanting to go for a knockout? David Morrell's one punch, like first round knockout. That's probably the highlight of the night, the first round knockout. And this fucking bullshit, the main event.
All right.
Well,
I do want to bring up David Morrell, and I don't want to bring up David Morrell after the main event. So let's talk about David Morrell, Drew.
Yeah,
this was a last-minute replacement. I got to see the Brazilian former Olympic medalist, I believe, man, who's like past his prime, mid-30s or late 30s. I got to see him work out, Drew, and I absolutely thought, and I shared that with people who were watching that, I thought he was going to get smoked by David Morrell. And David Morrell, prior to this, in his last opponent, he sent that guy to the hospital. There was some real fear that there was some brain trauma the last time he fought at the Armory. Drew, unlike the old idea that Cuban fighters, the Cuban school fighters, that they can't crack, you know what I mean? That they're just like, just technicians. Dude, this guy can crack, man. And I've been saying it. He probably has the highest ceiling of any of the PBC super middleweight fighters, including David Benavidez. I actually think David Morrell probably beats David Benavidez. And
Dave, we're out of agreement.
And he's calling for the fight. And that's exactly what he should do. And for someone who's got 10 fights, professional fights, there's no better time, man. What he's doing is incredible. So if he wants to take that opportunity and get that fight now, why not? Ryan Garcia called out for this fight against Gervonta Tank Davis. Everybody who knows boxing knows he wasn't ready. And you know what? I've got people still asking me, telling me, I had our friend Derek Ware, a former NFL player, hit me up this weekend and say, hey, Shoeshine, I think that he wasn't ready, but in 2 years, he probably beats Tank. No, he never beats Tank Davis. The skill gap is too wide. It's just too wide of a gap, man. He's never going to beat Tank Davis. It's not going to happen under any weight class or whatnot. If Ryan wasn't weight trained or not, the skill gap is just too wide. Ryan Garcia is very talented. He can put people in the seats. He can sell a show. He's charismatic now. He proved to me this week, Drew. I want you guys to know, man, because I don't want you guys to think I'm a Ryan hater. But everyone who's watched this from the very beginning of the Shoe Shine knows that one of our first shows was Raw Boxing, Drew, and I went back and watched it, where he was first calling himself the king, the future king of boxing, the Messiah. That was a great show we had with Raw Boxing, where we predicted the career trajectory of Ryan Garcia. And I feel vindicated. Y'all could go back and watch that show. I feel very vindicated because he really is somewhere across between JCC, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., Amir Khan, and Vicious Victor Ortiz. Just bundle all those three type of guys, and that's Ryan Garcia.
Yo, you know what they all got in common, right?
I don't want to say it, man, because the debate is. I could have put it. I don't say. You want to say it? Drew. To quit or not to quit? Drew. To quit or not to quit?
They all fucking quit.
Oh,
they all
shit.
fucking quit. Fucking point, Dave.
I'm not going to call him a quitter. Hey, listen. I saw a wonderful documentary on YouTube this past weekend about from a doctor that does combat sports about the liver shot, the famous liver shot. And we've seen the liver shot so many times in boxing. We saw it historically with his he's the protege of Oscar De La Hoya, and we saw when he took on B-Hop, and they're friends, now they're co-promoters, now he works over at Golden Boy, man. But we saw when Oscar moved up in weight and got annihilated by a body shot, and we've seen it plenty of other times. But somebody had to remind me and made me actually start thinking about, did he quit or did he not quit? But I'm going to go on record here and say Ryan Garcia did not quit. Ryan Garcia was stopped. He was freaking stopped. It was a technical knockout. He was incapacitated. He could not continue. But there are some guys that are really, truly made of steel, man. And I want to bring this video up, Drew. You remember this fight between many years ago? Let me show this fight real quick, guys, because this was a hell of a fight here. Amir Khan and Maidana.
How about this? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Está bien.
You could hear that body shot Amir Khan landed, that lightning fast liver shot. And somehow Marcos Maidana got back in the game and got back up, man. There's some people that are just cut different, Drew. But, it's not like I've ever been a pro fighter. I'm not inside Ryan's head if he quit or not, but it looked to me like he got hit with the classic liver shot that incapacitated him. And like I was saying, Drew, there's a medical doctor on YouTube. You guys can go look him up, man. And what exactly happens to you when you get hit with a perfectly placed body shot? And it was a vicious one. Y'all seen the pictures, man. You guys have some fantastic pictures out of there from fantastic photographers of the actual punch that was landed. Drew, you want to elaborate on your take, man, that he quit?
I'm gonna elaborate so fucking much, man. It's gonna be fucking funny because that wasn't even a liver shot. That was a shot to the fucking ribs, number one. Let's just put it out there right now. When I see he got hit in the ribs, that's number one. Number two, I'm really have a bad taste in my mouth because here's the thing. You're fighting for the so-called face of boxing, and you gave it to him, and you ended up on your fucking knees at the end of the fucking night. You gave it to him. And now he quit. He fucking quit. And people are gonna be pissed off, but I don't give a fuck. They could get emotional attached to it and everything. Get emotionally reply to me in a hateful manner. I don't give a flying fuck. He fucking quit.
Oh, well, I'm confused right now. Drew, I'm reading the comments, man. Chicano Prophet says that doctor sounds like a quack. I take it, Chicano Prophet, that you've seen the doctor I'm talking about. And now I'm starting to wonder, does Chicano Prophet think that Ryan quit? I mean,
Yeah.
put it in the chat. Fuck, tell me, man. And shout out
It's
to my
like
boy
this.
Sin City Syndicate, man.
It's like this. He fucking quit. And people, you want to get mostly attached to Ryan Garcia quitting and say, oh, you didn't quit, why are you being so, you never been in the fucking ring, Drew, you never been in the fucking, you never fought off a left shot. He fucking quit because after the bell rung, he got up like nothing fucking happened. He fucking quit. He got hit in the nose, his nose probably broke because there's bleeding out of it. And then he got hit in the body shot in the ribs, not in the liver, the ribs. And he looked up and he's like, oh, I'm gonna get up. No, I don't want to get up no more. I don't want no more. Shaky says, I don't want no more. I don't want no more. No mass. And everything.
Oh, you call it the no mas. The no
Here's the
mas
thing.
Duran moment? Roberto Duran?
He fucking quit. He's trying to brag about, oh, I'm the face of boxing. Whoever's gonna win the face of boxing. So if this really was for the face of boxing, because it wasn't, because none of you two are close to being the cash cow and everything. And for you to be the face of boxing, you have to be the cash cow. That's Canelo Alvarez, okay, right now. So look at it like this. You ended up on your knees in front of that dude. And you gave up, you quit. Because your nose is broken. You talked all this shit. That you were the next big thing. Oscar put up with your bullshit that you were talking down to Golden Boy. You were talking bad about your own promoter and everything. Gave you the fight he wanted. You wanted.
Fuck.
And you got your ass handed to you. Ryan Garcia is possibly one of the biggest hype jobs in boxing history. That dude has so many problems, it's not even funny. That dude at best is a B- C level fighter at best. That is his fucking ceiling. That dude will never, ever become a world champion. That dude will probably be out of boxing within the next 2 to 3 years. Because that dude does not care about boxing.
Well, listen, Victor Ortiz did exactly that and then came back. I mean, he went Hollywood, he got himself into some movies, and then he came back. Although they don't have exactly the same fights. I mean, Victor Ortiz did get his jaw broken. He did get his ass whooped by Marcos Maidana. He took a real savage beating. And you make a good point, Drew. And even, you know what, I gotta share my wife's opinion, man, because she was going back and forth on the quit theory too. And she said that it was the perfect out. It was the perfect out. If you really knew you weren't going to win this fight, it was the perfect out. So I'm torn between he was stopped, it was the perfect out, or he quit. I mean, you could probably convince me. In fact, if you want to convince me that he quit, feel free to call the Shoe Shine. I think we got a couple callers, and I appreciate this. Hold on, guys. Let's take this call from the 925 and then the 503 next. 925, you're on with the Shoe Shine.
It's Lukey, bro.
Lukey, what's up, man? I appreciate you, Lukey. Of course, make sure you guys... And Lukey, by the way, I want to make sure people know that you got this fantastic book on Amazon. Go check out Lukey's book. I think I'm going to look for this copy of this book. Lukey, also, I'm starting to read your Pro
Deluxe
Box.
edition coming in the fall, you know. We got the hardcover, different book, you know. We're going to throw the original in there, too. Shout out my guy, Drew, you know. But I'm a fan of you guys, so I'm just, I just finished my work day, so I wanted to
Big
talk.
fan of you, by the way.
Little Shoe Shine.
Appreciate all the good articles you're writing, especially the ones on Pro Box now. Pro Box is doing big, man. I'm liking what you're doing there. I appreciate you on there. So, hey, what's your take?
Pro Box, $1.99, bro. $1.99, great service. Shout out Gary Jonas, great Jerry Jonas, and shout out my guy Chris Glover, Ben Blackwell. Great team.
Yeah, we'll plug their show. Make sure you guys watch Wednesday night, man, because we're getting close to Cinco de Mayo, and they're putting on fantastic fights this Wednesday, Pro Box on YouTube. But Lukey,
they put on real fights, bro. They put on real fights, bro. If you want to see a fight where it's two guys who are at the same level and it's competitive, you go to Pro Box. If you want to have people lie to you or sell you Cinderella stories, or you have to make up a fictional scenario where one guy didn't train hard enough, well, then Pro Box isn't for you. But Pro Box is where you go evenly matched fights. It's kind of like I think it's better than Showbox, but I think it's what Showbox used to give us. But it's more consistent. So it's every 2 weeks you get like a Showbox, but maybe even a little higher level than a Showbox card. So it's great.
I agree, man. Also, you know what, Lukey? The only caveat I have about Pro Box is I love what Beto Duran and Dougie Fisher do interacting with the crowd. I know Pro Box has such a larger audience, but I would love it if occasionally Paulie Malignaggi would just check on what's going on YouTube and read a comment or two. But that's it. That's my only complaint. So they're doing a fantastic job.
And look, Paulie's a man of a people. Chris a man of a people. Goldie's the voice of combat sports. It's not unfathomable. You might see a night where they interact with it. You never know. Keep tuning in.
I will, man.
Never.
So, Lukey, let's hear from you, man. We're having the discussion. Obviously, most casual fans are still debating whether or not he quit. We're talking about the perfect liver shot, his historical liver shots that have taken down even Oscar De La Hoya. What's your takeaway from this big weekend for Ryan Garcia's career and the debate going on that, Gervonta Tank Davis can make a claim now that he's the new face of boxing?
Look, my girlfriend almost broke up with me this weekend, but we salvaged the ship. Would it have mattered if she broke up with me? How it happened? And I say that to say, if you lose a fight, you lose a fight. You don't draw pictures about how you lose a fight. A loss is a loss. So, I mean, like, people arguing over if he quit or not, to me, that's not the point. When you lose, you lose. I don't know. It was a levels fight, bro. You got a guy who never fought in a contenders fight, really, or a world title fight.
Mm-hmm.
Fighting the guy who has fought Jose Pedraza for a world title. He has fought contender fights. He's fought champions. You could argue the validity of the champion, but they've won hard fights. This was a fight for the fans to buy into stories. They get to see these kids. They probably look really hot if you're young and you're a girl. Maybe if you're a guy, if you're into that stuff, they look really hot to you. Not really my deal, but maybe that's a thing for some people. But, I mean, look, in terms of a stylistic thing, we saw the writing on the wall. I'm with my guy, Drew. He's making a lot of sense. Look, the kid's training in Beverly Hills, bro. When have we ever seen a guy train in his house and that isn't a red flag? He did his media day at his house, right? I was watching Rocky 3 on Comet. I was watching Rocky 3. It's the same shit, but this kid never won a title. We got a kid who's never won a world title who I don't care about all the he got hit in the body, whatever, because sometimes you get hit with, I'm not going to cuss, you get hit with a punch and you're in a lot of pain and you can't endure it. Like, I can't really go and comment on that because, like, I've been beat up and people, when I watched the tape, it didn't look like it hurt, but I remember it really hurt. So I can't speak on that. But what I can speak on was I was very unsatisfied as a competitor and someone that loves the sport of boxing with his willingness and comfort in losing. He felt far too comfortable to lose this fight, which made me very uncomfortable about his willingness to win the fight if he was that comfortable to lose that fight. And in that regard, let's take it a step further. To me, that kind of goes to what you're saying, right? Is if you're too comfortable going in saying, oh, if I lose, it's okay. When I took a test in high school, if I got a B, I felt like I was a piece of crap. I never went into those things with mindsets of, oh, this could be, it was A or bust. When I go into the gym, I want to outwork everybody. I've never once had this mindset, oh, I can get a B. And when I heard that mindset, it made me wonder, how did you go into this fight? because there was too much comfort with the loss for the level of tongue tasseling they were doing leading into this.
Oh, and right up until the night before, I was talking with Drew. I'm like, did you catch that ESPN bit? Because that had racked up more than 500,000 views in just a few hours on YouTube. One last time, they got like 10 minutes on ESPN. Drew, you remember that?
Yeah, but like the thing about Ryan, man, it just pisses me off because I feel bad for the people that actually believed in him. I feel bad for fucking Nando that had to come up here week after week and argue with me about Ryan Garcia. And the way that he fought pissed me off. I feel bad that I had to take Nando's $10 off from Saturday night because Ryan let him down. And I felt bad about that. Nando, I got your back, bro. Ryan Garcia fucked you over. And I got you on that one.
Lukey and Drew, do you guys mind taking a quick call?
Though, because
sorry, Lukey, I was going to say there's been a guy waiting for 8 minutes, and I'd like let's take his call.
Get whatever. I'm just showing love. Like, I don't care. Like, do whatever you got to do with me. I'm just showing love because I'm a fan. So I'm treat me like a fan.
Stay here with us on the air. Let's see what 503 has to say. If they're still 503, you on the Shoe Shine.
What's happening? It's Chicano Prophet calling in.
Oh, Chicano, thanks for holding, man. You're here with me, Lukey, and of course, Philly Irish Drew Evo. I saw you write quit, and we're still debating this quit.
That's right, man. I just wanted to chime in on this thing because, you know, it is kind of a sensitive, hot topic issue, right? And here's my thing, okay? People are getting quite, and I don't mean this in a negative connotation way, but they're getting emotional about it, right? Here's the thing. People who say that Ryan quit aren't saying that Ryan isn't tough. We're not saying that the fight wasn't over, all right? And I'm also hearing some arguments that don't make any sense, you know, and I'm not singling you out there, but this whole appeal to authority thing, like, well, this person says that, well, you know, I could pull up boxers that say that Ryan did quit, okay? Also, I see people attacking the people that Ryan did quit. For example, I hear people saying stuff like, oh, well, you know, people are acting like they could take that body shot. Well, let me tell you right now, I would take that liver shot and ask for seconds, okay? No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't. But all I'm saying is this, man. Like, we have to respect the boxers that actually wouldn't quit. Like, I understand that people don't like that terminology, but I'm not trying to give it a negative connotation. We're just keeping it real. And, you know, it disrespects the people that actually wouldn't quit. And, you know, we would have to come up with a definition for those people because what are we going to say? If those people really, really don't quit? I mean, there's a difference. Ryan Garcia quit. It's just like Drew said. The guy was waiting. And at 10.1 seconds, the dude got up. Dude, and I like a delayed body shot reaction, but to me, like, he just didn't want anymore. It was clear to me, so that's my 2 cents on it.
Hey, man, I appreciate, Chicano, your point of view, and I appreciate you giving us a call. And make sure you guys check out Chicano Prophet, Al Chile Crew on YouTube, man. I appreciate you, Chicano. Thanks a lot, homie.
All right, thanks, fellas. Peace.
All right, you guys are joining the Shoe Shine. We're here with Lukey, Lucas Cattell, who writes for Pro Box amongst in the ITR, right, Lukey? Lukey, you still here? Well, I think we may have lost him. Lukey, you still here? Well, he may have muted himself.
Lukey. Lukey,
if you need to call back, man, because we definitely appreciate you being on the show with us. The 510. The 5 and Dime is on the phone. Let's go to the 510. You're on the Shoe Shine.
What's up, Dave? What's up, dude? Nando, how you guys doing?
Nando, I heard you lost the bet, man.
Yeah.
I had to be fired up because I feel bad because what he made my boy Nando look like a fucking fool. And I don't like that shit when he made my boy Nando look like a fool. The way he fucking did.
Thank you, Drew. Thank you.
On his fucking knee like he was doing some bad shit. The inappropriate shit. Oh my God, Nando. I can't do this anymore, Nando. I felt kind of bad to get his $10, but I look at it and I was like this, I got to do this because it's not teaching him nothing. And now you think, I have to do this.
Hey, Drew, did you feel bad when you suckered me into that bet? I already told you I was favoring Tank. God damn it. Damn.
No, wait, I didn't feel that bad at all, because but here's the thing. The way he lost, that's what I feel I'm so fucking pissed about. The way that he just, how, we'll fight for the base of boxing and everything. And then you go out like that? Like, seriously, number one, go ahead, Nando.
I'm just gonna say to that what that Asian guy was saying today on social media.
Yeah, hold on.
Does that factor in?
That's great, Nando.
Go ahead.
Nando, let's play that clip because he's from Mongolia and he's an Olympian. And Luki, if you're still with us, chime in.
I'm here.
Oh, I appreciate you.
Here. He's fighting on Friday.
Yes, he is.
I live my life, bro. I put you guys on muted sometimes.
Well, listen, we're debating whether or not he quit. Everyone's got an opinion. And here comes a Mongolian athlete that participated in the Olympian. He's an Olympian. He was brought into sparring camp to be Ryan's sparring partner, I think, which he said he was paid about $8,000 or maybe $5,000 to be a training partner. And here's what he had to say on social media, and he's getting a lot of attention. He's fighting Friday. Thank you, Lukey, for that information. This is what he has to say.
Wait. Can I interrupt you there?
Yes.
Does that not seem like a lowball number? Like, if this is someone you're entrusting in your camp, like, I mean, that's a good amount of money, $13,000, but this is supposed to be fight of the century, Mega Millions type money.
Well,
I just feel like if I'm really rocking with people, I'm going to be giving them about 20, 30 grand, and hopefully my kid would be beating them up, but I'd want them to be loyal to the soil to the 10th degree. You overpay for loyalty sometimes.
And because he's being accused of being a mole that was set up or being paid by Gervonta Tank Davis, he's being accused on social media as being a mole, and he wanted to come.
He's not a mole. Everyone talks. His coach probably bragged that he dropped Ryan, and then people realized it was to the body because they're super proud because no one knows who this kid is. And then it's like telephone, tell a boxer, tell a referee, and then it turns into its own thing. But it's not. It isn't some genius inside knowledge. A lot of fighters don't like getting hit to the body, especially ones that stand up like stick figures.
That's a very good point. Well, here's his
very
good point, Lukey. Here's his audio clip. You guys take it.
Hey, King Ryan. In sparring, I injured you with the body shot. Now you lost to Tank. I am sorry. Are you okay?
Are you okay? Apparently he says later on he was fired and they only gave him half his money. But if you look closely, he's rolling in a Tesla, Drew. That's the white leather you only see in Teslas. So, yeah, I mean, he's got some kind of money. And then he corrected his statement on Instagram. You guys can go out there and look for it. But did he actually hurt Ryan? Did he actually send Ryan Garcia to the hospital?
I think it's just a fucking bullshit fucking excuse.
Just part of the excuse package. Lukey, where is he fighting on Friday? Is it something we can watch? Oh, is it Ludabella card?
Man, my phone got confused because someone texted me and then my phone froze. He's on one of those Boxing Insider. I believe DeBella does them. They used to be on YouTube. Now, sadly, they're on DAZN. And, like, I just, not to slander a promotion, but DAZN has just been very inconsistent with their product. My friend Beeb talks about how they always put the friggin' numbers on the screen. The quality of the stream can change. I can't justify the amount of money they ask for the product they give me.
Lukey, you still subscribe to the Zone, right?
God, no.
Thank
Wow.
you. At least somebody fucking says, hey, they're giving me bullshit product. I'm going to fucking cancel my subscription.
You know what?
It's just like,
I canceled that. I canceled that when they started the pay-per-view stuff. Like, once I didn't get Canelo and Joshua for free, it's like the quality of what you're doing. Look, Sergio Mora is someone I deeply respect. I like him, and I do like Todd Grisham. I don't think the broadcasters are the issue. I think that there's just a lot of, like, let's just wing it type stuff, and it doesn't make a great experience for me. I'd rather just spend money on my other interests, to be honest, bro.
You know what? To be honest, Drew, I don't know. Drew, you were working overtime, but I was just maybe a foot away from Ak and Barack, and I think they heard me because I was live streaming the media conference, and I said, I told them, and I think they heard that. I said, I think Drew and I can do your job. They didn't pay me no attention, but they were right in front of me. I was like, I think Drew and I could do your job. But yeah, everybody has to believe in themselves, just like
And you
Ryan
know
had
what's
to
crazy?
believe.
But I mean, you're not lying. It's how hard is it to be like, hey, here's a really good boxer. Here's like 5 super obvious questions about your fight. Okay, man, take care. It's like, really, that's why a lot of times it's like a pretty girl and like a random person that has like followers that we hope follow them, because it's really like not rocket science. Like, it's like, when are you fighting? How is camp? Do you like this person? These are the questions people want to answer or want to hear. It's not, I don't want to hear Pride and Prejudice fight week. I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to hear a 30-minute Joshua interview. I'd like it on his own time, but not during the fight week. No.
Well, I am going to say something. I was going to hold it off until I get an official anything. I'm currently in talks to possibly do play-by-play at a Philadelphia show. At a Philadelphia fight card.
Guys, I'm going
Commentary.
to transition real quick, Drew. Guys, this was kind of relevant, and a lot of people are buzzing about this subject. Okay, Saturday morning, I was talking to our friend Maestro. You guys know Maestro from YouTube, and Gail. And I had actually on Friday night found out that Adrian Broner was going to do a press conference. So while I didn't have any media credentials to go to anything, I somehow got accepted to go to media credentials to see Adrian Broner. Right? I'm like, am I going to actually wake up?
Well, because
for this?
you're alive. You're a human being. So, like, if you're alive, you get to go to, like, whatever convention center that's held in. I think New York was where it is. And they're like, here, just stand here. You're like, am I media? You're like, kind of. They're like, well, just hold your phone up. If he shows up, ask him something. Share it on your Instagram, your Twitter, And that was probably the prerequisite.
That was the only prerequisite. That's exactly it, Lukey. And in fact, I made the mistake of putting my company's email in there, and they thought I was actually they thought I worked for that my company, which is a technology company, actually has a media division. Drew,
that's awesome.
Drew, I was telling you, I was like, I there's no way I'm waking up for this, because he's not waking up for this, right? And he didn't wake up for that, man. So he's a no-show. But not only is he a no-show, Oscar De La Hoya, the promoter for Ryan Garcia, is a no-show. He's not ringside that anyone could see. Not ringside. He's not there with his fiance or new girlfriend that he spends tons of money on. And he wasn't at the press conference, post-press conference. Right. So where is he? Is it unheard of?
Shout out our guy Bernard.
Yeah.
Bernard's not there.
And today there's...
Joe Goosen doesn't go to the post-fight.
Yeah. Exactly. All 3 of them, guys. And the statement that he made, you guys saw it on Twitter already, that there was death threats.
Weird. It was a weird statement.
You guys want to know what really happened? I'm going to tell you what
I got my
happened.
theory. Go ahead, Drew.
I can tell. I can believe the Bernard being banned and everything over the fucking Ray and shit. I can believe that. That makes a little bit of sense. But I really think that when the past, when Ryan would be on Twitter bashing Oscar, bashing his promoter and everything, and Ryan has a history of not really listening, like being like not being committed and everything. I didn't think he was even listening to Joe Goosen during his fight with Tank. I didn't think he was. And I think, Oscar looked at it like, you know what? This was bound to happen. I'm glad I did this because this was technically Ryan Garcia's cash out fight. If he wins, I make more money in the future with him. If not, I made a good amount of money with him, and who gives a fuck about him now? Joe Goosen, probably washed his hands with Ryan Garcia after that, because you ain't listening to me, kid. Why the fuck am I trading you then? I'll take your fucking money, and that's it. That's what I think. Ryan Garcia is not committed to boxing.
Let's hear a little bit of what Oscar had to say, because it was bizarre. Here's a dark.
You made this fight happen. You wanted this fight, and I'm sure a lot of fighters will learn from you that you're daring to be great. But I do want to clarify why Bernard Hopkins and I weren't at the post-fight press conference. First of all, Bernard Hopkins was accused during the weigh-in of having testosterone cream on his hands and touching Gervonta Davis when he only wanted to help him because he was going to fall off the stage. So PBC, Gervonta's promoter, banned him from everything. He couldn't get inside the ring. He couldn't do anything during the promotion. And so as for myself, my security team told me, boss, we got to get the fuck out of here because I received death threats. You guys don't know this. I received death threats throughout the whole week, and they just said it was simply too dangerous. So we got
Death threats at the T-Mobile Arena. Is that the biggest crock of shit you've ever heard?
But isn't that like every celebrity ever? Isn't that part of what comes with? By the way, something creepy just happened. I live in the country, and there was like a cell phone light just off in the distance. So speaking of death threats, that was kind of creepy. But like, I feel like if you're a celebrity, every celebrity like gets death threats every time there's something like pretty notable they're about to do. Like, there's a lot of weird people that the only way they think they'll be famous is violence. So like, not to downplay this, but I'm sure like pretty much every notable celebrity involved in this fight probably got death threats from probably weird, extreme people on the internet.
Well, you're absolutely right about
That's
that,
just
Luke.
my hypothesis.
Oscar De La Hoya is building, or maybe he's completed his custom mansion that he's going to share with Holly and Henderson, which is just up the hill where the rich people live in Las Vegas from where I live now. And Drew, there was a YouTuber with 8 million subscribers that a gang of hoodlums from Los Angeles came. They drove all the way from Los Angeles to break into his house and shoot him in the middle of the night. And this guy, a YouTuber with 8 million followers, actually lives fairly close to where Oscar De La Hoya is building his mansion. I think you're right about that it comes with the territory. But this comment from Larry Liston, it says, Rick Glazer, you guys know who he is.
Who's that guy, by the way? I want to read that story.
Which story is that? Oh.
The YouTuber.
I don't know. Man, I don't know his name, but he's deep in the hip-hop field, and he had 8 million subscribers.
I'll just type in hip-hop Henderson YouTuber.
Yeah, it was a gang of 8. Now, they're accused of... the girl is actually a mastermind, was a girl, and she masterminded the whole criminal theft. They broke into 8 houses. They shot him. They broke into his house looking for money.
It's like a girl always, but like a lot of men will become vulnerable around women. You're dealing with someone that reads Niccolo Machiavelli's The Prince, like the Bible. Like, I read it once a week, and it's like, you have to be consistent with every single person you deal with, and your emotions can't fluctuate, or the people that are looking at entries into your soul, they'll find those little ways to find your weaknesses. It's like when you're weak, you have to appear strong, or else those people that are going to look for those entries are going to find a way in. You know, it's like why, in my opinion, not to get deep, but why there's that light again. The people who are the most scariest, right, are the people that hide in plain sight, right?
Yeah.
Like, you never think about, like, the monsters in the world. The scariest monsters are able to just exist. And then what they're doing that's monstrous is slowly justified. So it's never really a monster. The biggest illusion that we've ever bought into is that monsters exist in this hidden realm and they'll pop out of darkness. The real monsters are always in plain sight. And I can take it even to a further extent. How many times have you been in the bank and there might have been a bank robber or a serial killer behind you? You have no clue, but it probably has happened to you. And that's just how in plain sight all those people are. Okay, not to make it deep or anything.
Lukey, you remind me of Selena. A lot of people in the audience will know, Mexican-American fans will know Selena, the singer, that she was killed by an employee, you know, someone in her own camp. So it's entirely possible.
Well, the people that are going to hurt you most in life are going to be the people closest to you because they know how to hurt you. So that's why you always have to think deeply about these things.
Yeah.
Let me see if someone's over here. If I
ahead.
die right now, guys, represent me. But I just have to. I have a little bit of me that's a little different than most people.
Well, why don't you go investigate that? I want to read this comment from Larry Liston, guys, because Rick Glazer, who's everybody knows him on Twitter, said that Oscar and B-Hop had dinner reservations that conflicted with the press conference. And now they're saying death threats. But Drew, I think this is entirely plausible because I think that vanity could be the reason why they were not at this press conference. And I'll tell you why. Because David Morrell knocked out his opponent so freaking fast that I think Holly, this is what I think. I think Holly was still getting ready, Drew. I think she was getting into her famous outfits to be ringside, and they had no idea what kind of time they had left. So there was something going on there with that, Drew. That's my theory.
I know who. JC hit it on the dot. And I'm not going to say his comment, just going to give you guys a clue. Choo choo. Just look at the comments, guys. It's not that hard. Choo choo. Because if I say it, it's going to be fucked up because we're trying to keep this a little bit minimum of a PG show.
Choo choo.
Yeah. Okay. Fuck it. I'll say.
I saw some people saying choo choo with David Benavidez backstage.
Fuck
so I'm
it,
telling
I'll
me that
say
has something. Holly was putting on her lipstick. That's what I'm saying. It's entirely plausible. You know how many freaking nice 5-star restaurants are in Las Vegas that even is difficult for a celebrity? I mean, they talk about this one restaurant. Drake talks about Carbone, Drew. Carbone. There's a lyric about this Carbone restaurant. You gotta have a reservation to go to Carbone at Aria like weeks to not months in advance. I mean, I know Drake can walk up in there easy and just walk up in there. But I think it's entirely plausible they missed the show because they did not realize David Morrell was going to knock this dude out. And by the time they realized it, they're like, fuck it. Let's just stay here. Let's kick it here. That's my
As
theory.
I would say, Holly was the longest ride, longest line.
Larry Liston, Eric Gomez, and Lupe was helping out. Thank God somebody came to represent Ryan, guys. But this whole thing about testosterone cream, I want to tie in the show as we wrap up the show because there's a fight coming up in Las Vegas that's not going to get the attention that this super fight had. And even though Rolando Romero has already fought Tank, he was supposed to fight Drew for the 140-pound vacant title that, Josh Taylor vacated his belts in just 2 weeks, May 13th at the Cosmopolitan. Somehow, after losing to Tank, getting knocked the F out, okay, this guy is getting a title shot opportunity in a weight class he's never competed, all right? And you know that Rolly Romero, you guys can go back and watch those sparring sessions. Rolly Romero is very proud of what kind of work he did against Ryan Garcia, Drew. But I'm already seeing the chatter and the writing on the wall, Drew, that Ryan Garcia is going to have another chance because the guy that he was supposed to fight was the world champion, Alberto Puello, Dominican Republican, who just picked up the belt himself, Drew, and he got busted. And nobody wanted to talk about it this week, that this champ got busted on clomiphene. And clomiphene is the same drug that Conor Benn got busted for. And Conor Benn says, I don't know, somebody touched my hand. Nah, you got to take this medication, Drew. You got to take it. But he came out, Alberto Puello came out, and no one's even bothered to talk about it. And he's saying, I'm infertile. This is what the drug is for, Drew. It's to help men and women, because it's actually used with women too, to achieve pregnancy. Do you believe that a top-tier elite world champion has got testosterone issues or is shooting blanks? Nah, I don't fucking think so, man. You're not shooting blanks when you got a testosterone level of 900 or 1,000 because it really does not help you out in the sperm department. But what it does do is double, and sometimes, in some cases, double your testosterone, Drew. So everybody needs to be alert to this in clomiphene, and VADA is. So they haven't officially stripped him yet, Drew, but it looks like any day now we're going to get an announcement that they're going to strip Alberto Puello of his 140-pound title, and your boy Rolly Romero is going to fight for a vacant belt. Yep, wake up, Drew. Rolly Romero could be world champ in just a couple of freaking weeks. And you know that Ryan Garcia is going to want a piece of Rolly Romero because the minute he lost, he's like, I was weight trained, I was weak, and I'm ready to move up to 140.
Wrong. Tank's going to fight Rolly Romero again. Take his 140 belt.
You think so? You think Tank gets that?
To avoid the 135 pounders.
All right, let's get into it, guys. As we wrap up the show, I still have the phone line open. Our boy Lukey left us, but shout out to Lukey. Make sure you guys follow him on social media.
Hopefully he won't get abducted by aliens.
Yeah, I don't know. He said something crazy was out there, though, in his backyard, man. I don't know. By the way, Sin City Syndicate, thank you for sharing me with that post, man, because I can't believe Ryan Garcia was gambling before the fight. And there is supposed to be some kind of curse, man, when you was at the casino gambling before your big fight. But did you notice, Drew, that Charlo is a 49ers fan? That's right. He was wearing a 49ers faithful jacket. The guy's from Texas, but he's a diehard Niners fan. Can you believe that? Shout out to the Niner Nation, man.
Wow.
Chicano Prophet says, if Ryan and Raleigh fight, I'll have some great cheese mail about their past. Please. I mean, all I've seen is their sparring. I know that, they've got that sparring video that supposedly Raleigh leaked himself, manhandling Ryan. They have history together. And obviously, with such a good shit talker that Rolly Romero is, if he wins this title, and it's a foregone, if they strip the guy of his belt, Alberto Puello, Drew, he's a sure win for that vacant title. He's going to get it because the guy he's fighting, I think his name is Barrasso. He's 40 years old, bro. And I've never seen him fight. 40 years old. It's basically a free title, WBA. You know the WBA does some funny shit. You think so, Drew? What do you think, man? You think you're just telling me he's going to fight Raleigh and snatch up that WBA belt? Yeah. A genuine belt, by the way. Not a paper belt, not a secondary title, a real belt.
If Raleigh fights Ryan Garcia, Rolly Romero beats him.
Damn.
He had it first. I think he beats him. I'm sorry.
It's just to remember, guys, this is Alberto Puello who picked up that vacant title at 140. He just got busted by VADA on enclomiphene. So he should be getting stripped any day, man. And Larry, listen, thanks for bringing that up, Larry, because I think for sure that Raleigh's going to pick up this title. And now Drew's throwing a wrench in my theory, man, that Raleigh's going to end up getting a rematch. You know, they did have a good promotion. And Gervonta Tank Davis has never actually had a genuine title. You know, secondary titles, but not a genuine title. And more importantly, the other very good point you bring up is that we really should be, as boxing fans, debating this week whether or not he will fight the winner of Haney Loma in May 20th. Shakur has expressed interest in fighting Tank. Shakur's ready to go. Haney has said he can call me. Haney says I'm ready if I win this fight. You know, he's not being cocky and saying it's a foregone conclusion that he's going to beat Loma, but he's saying if I win, you know, Tank can call me. Let's make that super fight happen. You seem to think he'll just skirt all the top dogs at 135. Loma, Haney, Shakur. He's just going to say, screw all that. I'm going to go for the easy title at 140.
Yeah, because you don't care about legacy. He cares about money.
You know who I want?
Easy $1 million.
You know who I want to see him fight if he gets that title at 140 and he's a promotional free agent. If he gets that title if Raleigh wins his title and this coming fall we see a rematch, Raleigh versus Tank for the 140 pound, then he got no excuse to fight the guy from New Orleans, Regis Prograis, the real champ. In my opinion, the best fighter at 140 pounds is Regis Prograis, who's still right now floating, suspended as a promotional free agent. You think that'd be a hell of a fight, man? And I don't think he takes that one either.
Nah, no, but I'll tell you this right now. In 140 pounds, I think Regis Prograis is the most avoided fighter in the division.
Nando says, everybody already forgot. What happened to Spence Crawford? Did you see Errol Spence's pictures? Damn, I saw him in December at the Cosmopolitan. People were ragging about how fat he was, and I was defending him, saying, I saw him. He looked good. Those pictures were doctored up. No, they're not doctored up, man. Errol Spence is really out of fuck. Yeah, I mean, he looks like a dad. He's got a dad bod going on. What's going on with that, Drew?
You said he looked good.
Who said he looked good?
You did. A chubby guy.
I said Errol Spence looked. I said that they looked fabricated. He did not look that bad. And now I'm seeing all the pictures, man. I'm convinced he's given up, man. He's given up being in shape. He looks like a dad bod. I don't know what's going on with that, man. Anyways, Nando disagrees with me. He says Josh Taylor is still the best at 140 pounds. He beat Pro Grey clean. Ooh, that is up for debate, man. That's definitely debatable. It's debatable if this guy Rakimov lost to Joe Cordona. I mean, I got to go back and watch that fight again. Let's end the fight. Let's end the show with the fight. Let's end the show with something fun, guys. You guys know that Jake Paul, big YouTube star Jake Paul, is going back to fighting MMA, guys, and he's fighting some of our boys here from Northern California. He's fighting the very own, 209 monster and Nate Diaz. They're going to sell the hell out of this fight, man. It's going to get a lot of casual interest, Drew. And Nate Diaz, speaking of New Orleans, man, he made the news this week, and he just barely dodged getting a criminal charge, Drew. Did you see this shit?
Yeah, I saw it. Like, it's crazy shit. But, like, I don't know, man. Like, I really don't. I think it might have some. It might do something with the fight, but I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, nobody's paying to watch Jake Paul fight anymore.
Calix Boxing, our boy Calix Boxing said, don't trip, Nate, because the prosecutors in New Orleans don't even hold people for more than a day in jail, and they never press charges. So he can pretty much avoid any jail time. Like Calix living out in Louisiana, he says, don't even worry, man. They're not coming after you. So yeah, that's big news for the casual boxing fans. We'll see if that revives Jake Paul's pay-per-view numbers. I don't even know what I think it's going back to DAZN, apparently, this fight's going back to DAZN. But here's something very interesting, guys. Bob Santos is quickly becoming one of the hottest. Last year was one of the hottest trainers in all of boxing. And his son is like an 18-year-old protege boxing trainer. Him and his son, Bob Santos. He's from San Jose, California. And Lukey is from the Bay Area. I'm originally from the Bay Area. I'm from out of San Jose. I always call myself. I think he intentionally picked Bob Santos, not only because Bob Santos is a fantastic trainer. He's trying to drive a wedge between Bay Area sports fans, man. He knows it. He's picking a Bay Area coach to fight Nate Diaz, one of the best in boxing right now. But, Drew, you remember we were on that show with Jay Leon Love? I don't think anybody helps Jake Paul advance his career in boxing. I don't see it, man. I think he's already seen his ceiling with his overhand right. It's pretty much like Ryan Garcia, man. I think we've seen the ceiling with Ryan Garcia. It is what it is, man. Ryan Garcia is going to beat a lot of guys, and he can beat some of these guys very flashy. It's going to be about carefully matching him up for the rest of his career and trying to get these easy opportunities at a title fight, like potentially fighting Rolly Romero if Rolly Romero gets a belt.
I just want to add something. Since Dave said that just now, anybody getting emotional? Nope, good.
Larry Liston says Santos is a great pick for trainer of the year. Indeed he is, man, but my personal favorite is Ismael Salas. I love what Ismael Salas does, especially with the win. He had the back-to-back wins with Robeisio Ramirez and Brian Mendoza, who knocked out the towering Inferno, but came up massively short with Joe Joyce. I mean, it couldn't have been 3 times a charm, man. Joe Joyce getting knocked the hell out like that, getting stopped like that. But no, I do agree. Ismael Salas, who is out of Las Vegas, also one of the finest trainers in the industry right now, man. Drew, your final thoughts on this amazing weekend as we wrap up the Shoe Shine, man?
This wasn't fucking amazing, Mika. It was a fucking joke, Dave. Come on, man. Not fucking sugarcoating shit, Dave.
It was amazing to everybody. Listen, for the people who spent thousands of dollars to come to Las Vegas, $1,300, $1,400 for nosebleeds, a weekend at the MGM, partying and drinking and buying one of my boys on Twitter posted a picture. He didn't know what a bottle of Patron costs at MGM. He's like, what the 400? Yeah, man, 400. To those people, it was a great weekend. It was a great weekend. Adrian Broner, it was a great weekend. Who knows where Adrian was, man? Saddled up with 2 professional girls in his hotel room. Oscar, getting that fine dining immediately after Ryan gets stopped.
I just this was really a bad weekend, and boxing took an L that night. Boxing took a huge L that night. And it's a fucking disgrace when a fight of this magnitude ends up with the fucking dude quitting on his knee during a fight. Where he got right up at the end and said, "Oh, I'm fine now.
Well, listen, let the facade be over. Guys, you know what Ryan is all about now. If you're new to the sport, if you're not new to the sport, you clearly remember guys that Oscar swore were going to be the next big thing in boxing, like Victor Ortiz. Julio Cesar Chavez was supposed to be the next big thing in boxing. His dad was a great now we just move on to the next guy, man. You know, if you want to root for Ryan, it's all good, man. Larry, listen, agrees with you. He says it was one of the worst weeks in boxing.
I'm going to say this right now. Ryan's a bitch.
Drew, come on now. Shout out to our boy Lukey. Shout out to Chicano Prophet. Everyone who joined us in the chat. Make sure you hit the subscribe and notification bell so you know when we're on. I'm going to definitely be trying to do way more content this month. Shout out to Maestro who reached out to me. Shout out to Gail Falkenthal from NY Fights who also reached out to me this weekend. Was it the worst pay-per-view I've seen? It was definitely not a very good pay-per-view, guys. But one thing Lukey Boxing brought up today is that they sold this fight based on the storyline. And that's a win for boxing in my eyes, Drew, because it proved that if you get the right two guys, well, shit, you could, what's the expression? I got swampland I could sell you in Florida. If you get the right two guys, you can make stuff happen still in the sport of boxing. And I think they did it. We're going to find out next week, more or less. We'll get back to it next Monday and find out just how well it did. Did it break 1 million? Did it do under 1 million? Tank is not the face of boxing, that's for sure. Tank is not the face of boxing, man. Canelo Alvarez is still the face, Drew.
Well, watch out. Keep eyes on videos going forward on the shoe shine and everything, talking about side shit, side news and everything. As soon as we get the numbers, we'll probably make a video out of it and everything. Break it down, what we think about and everything.
I heard that. Yeah. Hey, we got the real undisputed fight coming for undisputed world champion Lomachenko versus Devin Haney. I'm going to be there. I was talking to Maestro. He's already got press credentials. Gail, of course, will be there. A lot of people that were friends here with the Shoe Shine are going to be in town for that. May 13th, I'm going to go to the Raleigh Romero fight and check that out and see if Raleigh does become the next world champion. And, of course, Cinco de Mayo. It's perfect time to get together with family and watch Canelo over in a mismatch. Get together for some barbecue and watch another ass whooping.
Yep, and I will be in Vegas in spirit.
All right, man. Thanks a lot for watching the Shoe Shine. I'm Dave from the 408. Drew, I'll see you next week. Peace out, everybody.